No, you good. Good evening, Bulldog fans. We are live at Verdigris, Oklahoma, with the district title on the line. Verdigris Cardinals play host to the Wagoner Lady Bulldogs in this district championship game. And we are at the first batter right now. It'll be number 2, Jalen Fourkiller, leading it off for the Bulldogs. Verdigris will start out, obviously, as the home team. And Fourkiller looks at a low strike coming in as the first pitch. 0-1 the count for Fourkiller. Check swing that time for a ball one. 1-1 the count. Fourkiller, the senior third base shortstop, that is, at first at bat. Takes a swing at that one for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little bit different angle as we're accustomed to, but should be a good picture for you at home. And let us know if it's not. And that's strike 3 for Verdigris's ace. And I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but this is the second go around for the Bulldogs and Cardinals. As the Cardinals came to town a couple of weeks ago, went into extra innings and were able to squeeze by the Bulldogs in extra innings. So it's number 26, Goose Hutchins, at bat now with 1 out. Fouls that one away for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for the Lady Bulldogs. Pass the word around. We're just now getting started. We're here for 7 innings in this district championship game. Hutchins takes swing for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks that one in for ball 2. The count is even at 2-2 with 1 out and nobody on in the opening inning. There's a pop fly into shallow left field, and the left fielder is there to make the catch. 2 outs for the Bulldogs as number 7, the sophomore center fielder, Maya Renshaw, steps to the plate. Looks that one in for strike 1. 2 out, nobody on in the top of the first. Renshaw fouls that one away for strike 2. And the advantage of having it at this angle is Garrett's going to be able to follow the ball. That ball goes into the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Renshaw. We're used to being behind the plate where we haven't been able to get much ball movement as far as the camera, but being at this angle, we'll be able to follow the ball a little more than what we're used to seeing. Renshaw takes a step back to regroup. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a line drive to this shortstop, and she is able to track it down for the third out. 3 up, 3 down for the Cardinals as the Lady Bulldogs take to the field. It looks like it's a little bit different setup, lineup for the Lady Bulldogs, as Hutchins will be behind the plate. And looks like Coker will go to possibly center field. She's usually behind the plate, but it's Hutchins tonight. Kinsey Fourkiller will still be on first. Zaya Pierce still on second, as she has been all year. Jalen Forkiller at shortstop. And it looks like third baseman is going to be Maya Renshaw. Moving in from center, it's Shari Berry in left field. Poker goes to center field. And Kendra Condit, is right fielder as she has been all season long. So a couple of adjustments here in this second go around between the Cardinals and Bulldogs. And of course, it's Zoe Griffin on the mound. Griffin and Hutchins presumably will be playing catch all night long, and hopefully without interruption. As we await the bottom of the first here, as Hutchins still warming up, there's a warm-up throw to second, and we are ready for action. Bottom of the first, number 3 for the Cardinals will be at bat. Batter takes the first ball in, and that time Hutchins catches the strike from Griffin. It's a 1-1 the count. And here's a line drive to left field, and that is going to drop, and it is going to be foul. Shari Berry out there in left field. That ball carried foul. 4-2, 1-2 now for the Lady Cardinals, number 3. 1-2 pitch. And here's a pop fly in the shallow left, and that will drop, and she's going to round second. Forkiller, and she slides in. The ball goes wild, and she's going to round third, and she's going to beat the throw at home. Number 3, able to get around the bases on errant throws for the first run of the game. Number 21 for the Cardinals steps up to the plate, as the Cardinals early on have struck first. That first pitch coming in as a strike. Griffin on top, 0-1. That pitch goes high for ball 1. 1-1 the count for number 21. Strike 2 for Griffin. Batter shows bunt, now pulls away for strike 3. Griffin with her first strikeout of the game. If you've been following the ladies softball season, Griffin got her 600th strikeout a couple of games ago, as that ball comes in for ball 1. You heard that right. 600 strikeouts in her young career. Over 300 during her freshman year. And here comes strike 2 for the Lady Bulldogs. Sorry, strike 1. 1 strike for Griffin and the Lady Bulldogs. That ball comes in high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Griffin 300 and I believe 17, 300, something like that for the first of her season as a high schooler. As ball 3 comes in a little high, 3 balls, 1 strike for number 14 in the Cardinals. And then, as we said, there's a strike 2 for a full count. She picked up her 300th strikeout a couple of games ago that put her over 600 for, again, her young career. And there is strike 3 for the Lady Bulldogs, and that is 2 outs. Hutchins got a little ahead of herself. She had 3 outs, but she's back behind plate now. So Griffin with 2 outs and the fourth batter of the inning. That ball low for ball one as the sun has now come out. And I bet the temperature just went up about 20 degrees. It's a little toasty now. That changeup coming in low for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes for Griffin and the mound. That ball comes in as a strike for strike two. Strike one, that is. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first. That one fouled away for strike two. Counts even at 2-2 as the first batter for the Cardinals was able to get home on errors, and that gives us the score of 1-0 in this first inning. That ball comes in high and inside for ball three. Full count for Griffin on the mound. And there's strike three. Griffin able to crawl out of that after an early run in the first on the first batter. And now the Lady Bulldog offense will take back on the field as we enter the top of the second. You're watching Friday Night Bulldogs, and we'll be back in just a minute. Here we go with the top of the second. It's Zoe Griffin at the plate. Takes a swing and fouls the first pitch away. 1 ball or 1 strike. 0 balls and 1 strike at the top of the second. Griffin pops that one up in the shallow infield, and the shortstop is there to make the catch for the first out. It'll be the first baseman, sophomore first baseman, Kenzie Forkiller at the plate now in her first at bat. Thankfully, the sun went back behind the clouds as Forkiller takes a swing at strike of the first pitch. 0 balls and 1 strike for Forkiller. Hopefully that sun will stay behind the clouds so that you can get a better view at home. There's ball one, low and outside. 1-1 the count. Forkiller takes a swing at the third pitch for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouls that one away to stay alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes still with 1 out and nobody on. Forkiller looks that one in for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again for Forkiller in her first at bat. Four killer, and that is line drive to the second baseman, and she is right there to make the catch, number 18 for the Lady Cardinals for the second out. Second baseman, sophomore Josiah Pierce at the plate now. Looks in ball one for the first pitch. One ball, no strikes. And there's strike one. Pierce takes a swing. 1-1 the count. There's a line drive to center field, and the center fielder is there to make the stop or make the catch. Nice defensive play by number 3, who actually scored the first run of the Cardinals. That ball came in low and fast into center field, and she was able to track it down for the third out. As we enter the bottom of the second inning, Cardinals 1, Bulldogs 0. We'll be back in just a minute. Bottom of the second. As the Cardinals have their 5th batter early on in the game. First batter was scored, and then the Lady Bulldogs able to retire the next 3. And here we are in the bottom of the second. Cardinals up 1-0. There's a foul ball on the first pitch. No balls, 1 strike for Griffin. Be sure to get the word out that we're live here at Verdigris, Oklahoma. And it's the 4A 7, I believe, district championship on the line between the Lady Cardinals of Verdigris and the Lady Bulldogs of Wagoner. As that pitch comes in for ball 1, 1-1 now the count for the Cardinals at the plate. There's a strike 2 for Griffin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As you see, both teams are in the black jerseys. And that is a called strike 3 for Griffin as she retires the first batter of the second inning. Again, both teams in the black jerseys, but the Cardinals in the black pants, Bulldogs in the white. Second batter of the inning up the plate. She looks in ball 1, high. 1 ball, 0 strikes. That one comes in as a strike right down the middle. 1-1 now the count. 1 out, nobody on for Griffin and the Bulldogs. Looks like that one just outside, maybe a little high for ball 2. Hutchins didn't like it behind the plate, but the one behind her has the call. There's a strike coming in. 2-2 now the count for Griffin, the second batter of the inning. That one high and outside for ball 3. Full count for the Lady Bulldogs. And there is strike 3 for Griffin. 2 outs now for the Cardinals as number 16 steps up to the plate. Word was that there was another stream that was going to be here this evening, but I don't see that right now as the first pitch for the third batter of the inning comes in high for ball 1. So it may just be FNB here. There's a strike 1 for Griffin. 1-1 the count with 2 out and nobody on. Pass the word around. that we're live and sounds like and looks like things are going well as the second strike comes in. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Griffin. And the pitcher might be a little bit better now that the sun has gone behind the clouds. I know it feels a heck of a lot better as the degrees just dropped again, at, at least 10 degrees for sure. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Griffin gets the batter chasing for strike 3. And the Lady Bulldogs are back on offense as we enter the top of the 3rd inning. Might have a chance to run to the refrigerator and get you some water or your favorite drink, and then we'll be back. It won't be long. And here we are at the start of the top of the 3rd. It's going to be number 6, the sophomore center fielder, Adrian Coker, at the plate as she takes ball 1 in the first pitch. Takes a swing at the second for strike 1. The count now even at 1. Number 8 is on the mound for the Cardinals, as she was a couple of weeks ago when they came to Wagoner, and delivers strike 2. And now ahead on the count 1-2. Again, if you didn't catch us early, the Cardinals and the Bulldogs have met one other time this season. It was at Wagner Softball Stadium. They had to go to extra innings to decide it, and the Cardinals were able to come out on top. Lady Bulldogs try to get even here, and Coker fouls that one away. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Coker. Coker with a line drive to second baseman, and it gets through. Coker with a single and the first hit this evening for the Lady Bulldogs. Number 18, the second baseman, just out of reach as she tried to make the diving catch. So Coker gets on first. And it will be number 11, the senior right fielder, Kendra Condit, at the plate. Shows bunt, but fouls it away for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. No outs with Coker on first. Condit looks that one in low, but not enough to be called a ball. That's strike 2. Condit behind now 0-2. That one comes in high for ball 1. Kendra Condit, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Makes a swing at the changeup for strike 3 as Condit goes down swinging and for the first out. It's number 3, Shari Berry, sophomore left fielder, at the plate now with Coker on first and 1 out. We're at the top of the 3rd. Score still remains Cardinals 1-0. Berry takes strike 1. Looks that one in for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Berry. Takes a swing at that for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Takes a swing at that for strike 3. 2 outs now for the Lady Bulldogs at the top of the 3rd. It was a base hit to left field. Number 2, Jalen Four-Killer. Looked like she chased a little bit, but able to make contact and get that one by the third baseman into left field for a base hit. Advances Coker to second base. So Coker on second, Four-Killer on first, and it's number 26, Goose Hutchins, at the plate for the Lady Bulldogs with 2 outs. Looks that one in for ball 1. And if you've been following Lady Bulldog softball, you know Hutchins can hit one out at any point in the pitch count or any point in the game. And she looks that one in for ball 1. And it looks as though they will pitch to her as the count is 1-1 with 2 out and 2-1. Fouls that one away for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Lady Bulldogs. The 1-2 pitch. And Hutchins fouls it away to stay alive. Bulldogs at their third at bat and have not been able to get anything going until now as they have 2 on. Looks that one in for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Hutchins at the plate. And got punked. Hutchins takes one to the hip and she will advance to first base. And now the bases are loaded, 2 outs. And it is sophomore center fielder Maya Renshaw at the plate. Coker on third, Four-Killer on second, now Hutchins on first for the loaded bases. Renshaw looks at that one low, but it's called strike. No balls, 1 strike for Renshaw. He fouls that one away for strike 2. 0-2 the count now, 2 outs, bases loaded. Looks that one in for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Renshaw. Chases that one down the center field, and that will score down center field, the center of the field. Second baseman trying to track it down. Hutchins slides into second, and now we're going to have a conversation here from the Verdigris coaching side. Coker able to come across home plate as all the runners advanced. I'm not sure what the confusion was, but looks like we've sorted it out. Four-Killer now on third, Hutchins on second, and Renshaw on first with an RBI single. It's number 32, Zoe Griffin at the plate, and looks in ball 1. 2 out, and we are even at 1. There's a changeup that just missed for ball 2. 2 balls, 0 strikes with the bases loaded. Griffin with the deep ball, center field, and that is gone. Zoe Griffin with a grand slam, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Zoe Griffin, the pitcher, getting a little bit even, well, a little more than even, as she was not happy giving up that first run to the first batter in the first inning, as she just went yard with 4 RBIs. Wagoner Bulldogs 5, Verdigris Cardinals 1. We're at the top of the 3. Here's a foul ball, and I'm almost going to be able to catch that, but not quite. number 24, Kinsey Four Killer. I'm not sure if Garrett was able to track that one or not, but that was a beautiful home run over the center field fence. There's a line drive. Second baseman is there, and it makes the play. Good hit by Four Killer, but the second baseman has made 2 or 3 plays early on already. But what a monster inning by the Bulldogs, as weren't able to get much going in the first 2 innings, but the third inning saw bases loaded, and then Griffin comes up and hits one over the center field fence. We're 5-1 now for the Lady Bulldogs as we enter the bottom of the third. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the bottom of the third. Wagoner 5, Verdigris 1. As Griffin, fresh off of her grand slam, steps back onto the plate. Garrett, we got strikeout count. Okay, I think we're at 6. No, let's see. I think she's actually retired everyone but that one run. So we got 5, and that one comes in at strike 1. So 6 strikeouts, maybe somewhere around there. Here's a bomb into right field. Condit tracking it down, and that will hit the fence and drop, and she will round first into second. Number 13 with a deep fly ball into right center field, and she will get a double out of it as the bats are starting to heat up on both sides of the dugouts. Griffin wants to change balls. Got a runner on second with no outs as we just started the bottom of the third. Get the word out. We got a game on our hands as number 27 takes the first pitch for ball or strike 1. Looking to bunt. The third baseman is there. Renshaw throws it out, and the runner is safe at third. 27 did her job as the throw to first was there. Tried to get it back to third, but the runner was safe at third. 1 on, 1 out for Griffin and the Lady Bulldogs. That is ball 1 for number 3. She started off the game, and she is the one and only run for the Lady Cardinals, and she takes strike 1 on that pitch. 1-1 the count with 1 out. I believe number 3 is the center fielder for the Cardinals. And again, she got things started in the bottom of the first. She was the first batter for the Cardinals, able to get on base with a single and then inerrant throws by the Lady Bulldogs. And number 3 was able to get all the way home. Here's a pop fly into left field, and it is tracked down by Barry for the second out. Shari Berry able to get that shallow pop fly in the left field for the second out. Runner stays on third as number 21 for the Lady Cardinals steps to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. There's a short pop fly into right field, and Condit is there to make the catch. Cardinals leave a runner on. So the score remains Wagoner Bulldogs 5, Verdigris Cardinals 1 as we enter the top of the fourth. We take a little break here. Be sure to get the word out as we're going to go at least to 7 innings. And if the Lady Bulldogs have anything to say about it, it'll end at 7. But we got a long ways till then. Back to the action as Josiah Pierce takes a strike one, and that comes in at ball one. Pierce at the plate, sophomore second baseman with a 1-1 count. And she's going to pop fly that up and over the backstop. And you probably heard it bang. Has Barry behind on the count now 1-2. Good crowd on hand here at Verdigris. Barry takes a check swing for ball two. 2-2 the count now for Barry. Or sorry, Pierce. Barry just made the third out or second out in the last inning on the pop fly. Pierce at the plate, and she goes down swinging for the first out. Number 6, the sophomore center fielder, Adrian Coker, at the plate now. She's the one that got it all started with a base hit and then was able to come home and takes a changeup that comes in as a strike. 0-1 the count for Coker. Coker able to come in along with Hutchins and Four-Killer, I believe, after Griffin went yard with bases loaded. 1-1 the count. And here's a pop fly, and that is almost coming right to me, but going to be a little short. And we got a couple of Wagoner boys. Looks like they're chasing foul balls and trying to get a pop out of that. At least that's what they did when I was a kid. One ball, 2 strikes for Coker with 1 out. Looks at that one come in low for ball 2. Counts even at 2 now. Here's a pop fly, shallow center field, and number 3 able to track it down for the second out. Number 3 for the Cardinals been busy tonight. It's made some good defensive plays. I believe that's the second fly ball that she has been able to zero in on and score the one and only run the Cardinals have at this point. This is Kendra Condit taking a swing and a strike for the first pitch. 2 out, nobody on. And Condit thought that was high. The ump thought otherwise, and she'll take strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes for Condit. Looks that one in for ball 1. 1-2 now. That ball comes in low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Lady Bulldogs. Able to get a piece of that one to stay alive. The count remains 2-2. You might be able to see Mr. John Ferguson from the Wagoner Tribune, or Wagoner County American, I think that's what it's called these days, covering Lady Bulldog softball. Right there. Nice eye for Condit as she takes ball 3. Full count for Condit. Mr. John coming out of retirement and back into the paper, and Condit watches the fourth ball, and she will take her base. He is the gentleman, should be able to catch him in the camera pointed toward the home plate in the gray shirt and the ball cap. We appreciate the time that he gives to Wagner Lady Bulldog softball. Shari Berry at the plate and takes strike one with Condit on first. That ball high for ball one, 1-1 the count. Takes a swing at strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Berry with 2 outs. Condit on first. Able to foul that one away up and over. Stays alive with the 1-2 count. Chases that one, goes down third baseline, and that will be foul. Had to go outside with it and just foul. So she'll come back to the plate with the 1-2 count. Condit still on first. That ball high for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Berry. Yeah, she chased the third one for the strikeout. Lady Bulldogs will go back on defense as we enter the bottom of the fourth. The score remains 5-1. Hope everything is going well for you at home. Haven't been able to check the chat, but doesn't look like anybody's wanting to chat these days. If you guys, well, it looks like we got 40 homes right now, wherever you may be viewing. We appreciate you logging on and get the word out. We are in the bottom of the fourth, still plenty of game left. And if you want to leave us a comment in the chat, be sure to do that. It looks to be as that the sound and the picture are coming clearly. And we hope you're enjoying this beautiful evening, Monday evening, as the sun tries to peek out for a little bit, and now it's gone back behind the clouds, and it is so nice. Even a little nice breeze coming through, and you might hear that coming through my mic. So I'll try to block that off as Griffin delivers strike one. 0-1 the count. And that one comes in as a strike. Griffin ahead in the count, 0-2. And number 14 for the Cardinals, able to stay alive on a foul ball. It's a little early on, look like the changeup. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Here's a line drive to center field, and it'll drop for the base hit. Number 14 for the Lady Cardinals. A line drive into shallow center field for the leadoff single. Griffin on the mound, as she is almost every game or at some point or another. It's Hutchins behind the plate. Juliana Hutchins. Kinsey Forkiller on first. Josiah Pierce on second. Jalen Forkiller at short. And Maya Renshaw at third as the second strike comes in. Griffin on top of the count again. No balls, 2 strikes to the batter. In the outfield, it's Shari Berry in left field. Here's a line drive right to second base, and she is called safe at first. And I have to admit, it was a good call. It was a good call that she beat the tag. They didn't beat the throw, but beat the tag. as Josiah Pierce at the right time, right place, right time, taking that line drive and almost getting the double play here at first. And were we able to catch that, Garrett? All right. You guys can make your own judgment at home, but I think it was a pretty good call by the ump. So 2 balls, 0 strikes for the next batter. And rounding out the outfield, it's Adrian Coker at center and Kendrick Condit at right field as Zoe Griffin delivers the first strike to the batter. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. And here comes the second strike for Griffin. 2-2 now, the count. A runner on first. That's a foul ball up and over. And we got several Bulldogs from the football team that are running these foul balls down. Looks like Elijah Love and Kel Charbonneau. And here's a line drive deep into left field, but that will go foul. Goes over the fence, but goes foul for number 8 and the Cardinals. Number 8 is the pitcher for the Cardinals, and no doubt trying to get even with Griffin as Griffin went yard on her for the grand slam. And here's the Cardinal pitcher. And same, a little bit shorter, but same area as she goes left field, but it goes foul for strike 2, ball 2, 1 out with the runner on first. We're hoping to stay out of this rain, as before the game started, it was sprinkling a good bit, but then by about the time the first pitch, it was about the time the first pitch came, it was the rain had cleared away. Been cloudy pretty much ever since, and there is strike 3 for Griffin against the Cardinal pitcher. 2 outs now. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 1 runner on as number 18 steps up for the bats for the Cardinals. There's strike 1 for Griffin. No balls, 1 strike. Here's a shallow pop fly. Hutchins trying to track it down at the fence, but it goes up and over to hit the canopy. Strike 2 for Griffin and the Lady Bulldogs. No balls with the runner on first and 2 out. And there's strike 3 for Griffin. The Cardinals leave a runner on as we enter the top of the 5th. Wagoner Lady Bulldogs 5, Verdigris Lady Cardinals 1. We'll be back. Top of the 5th for the Lady Bulldogs. And it's number 2, Jalen Fourkiller, chasing a low ball for strike 1. Fourkiller, the senior third baseman. And swings for strike 2. Behind on the count now with 0 balls, a 2 strikes for 4 killer. Nobody out as we begin the top of the fifth. Here's a shallow pop fly into right field, and second baseman able to chase it down. Second baseman and the center fielder have been very busy tonight for the Lady Cardinals and have done a great job at tracking these fly balls. The line drives down. Now here is number 26, the catcher, sophomore, Goose Hutchins, taking a swing and a miss for strike one. Oh, and 1 the count. And here is a short fly ball into shallow left center. And the shortstop was able to be there to make the catch for the second out. 2 outs now as Renshaw is at the plate and looks in strike one. No balls, 1 strike for Renshaw. That comes in for strike two. Renshaw behind now 0-2. Looks that one in for ball one. 1-2 the count for Renshaw as the breeze picks up a little bit here in Vergers. Renshaw looks that one in for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Renshaw. Looks that one in for ball three. Scoreboard says 3 ball. There it is. Now we got 2 strikes. It's a full count pitch. Here's a line drive right up center field, and that will go for a base hit. Renshaw gets to first, stand up single with 2 outs. And now it's number 32, Zoe Griffin, back up to the plate. The last time she was there, she went yard, and that gave us the 5 that we still have a couple innings later. Looks that one in for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes with Renshaw at first. Here's a chopper to this, and she's able to make the play at first. Number 14, the shortstop for the Cardinals. Between the shortstop, second baseman, and center fielder, they pretty much have made all the plays. Seems like anyway, as the Lady Bulldogs take the field on defense as we enter the bottom of the fifth. Appreciate everyone that's logged on. We've got a couple more innings to go with this district championship. Started out a little mundane, but got exciting real quick as the Lady Bulldogs loaded the bases, and then Griffin bats everyone in. The score is 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Get on our Facebook page, and Jeff and Stacy watching from Rocky Point tonight. Appreciate you guys logging on. Hopefully you've been able to see these hits, especially that home run grand slam that we just had a couple innings ago. Alicia Olson, I know she's here. Looks like she was watching both the stream and live at the same time. That might be a little confusing, but appreciate Alicia making the trip. Linda Crawford, appreciate you supporting the Lady Bulldogs. As the ump calls ball two as we start the bottom of the fifth. 3, the call. Griffin behind the count 3-0. And that one comes in a strike right down the middle fastball for a 3-1 count. Want to say hello to Heather Light, former Wagner Middle School teacher, and had a lot of these girls in class. And here's a pop fly into right field, and it will go into foul territory for the second strike. Full count. When we get back to the mound, or at least I thought it was a full count. Having maybe a little bit of trouble here with the scoreboard. And here's a shallow pop fly, and looks like Four Killer is going to run it down for the first out. Four Killer, the sophomore first baseman, able to catch that shallow pop fly for the first out. One out in the bottom of the fifth, and that pitch high for ball one. Ball fouled away for strike one off the backstop and back into the field of play. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on for the Lady Cardinals. And Griffin didn't like the feel of that one. Going to change balls. Need that one cleaned up a little bit. Called ball 2. That one a strike for the even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That ball filed away to remain alive. 2-2 the count. Two pitch with a 1 out. And a little high for ball 3. Full count now. As Hutch, appreciate the comments in our chat room. And that ball comes in high for ball 4 as Griffin walks her first batter of the game, number 13. She will be at first base. Coach DJ, Josiah Pierce's uncle, watching from North Carolina, and appreciate him logging on in the Tar Heel state. Probably, as far as today is concerned, might be pretty close to the weather that we're having here in Oklahoma. A nice 70 degrees, maybe even drop below that by now. But Coach DJ, we appreciate you logging on and hopefully getting some great shots of your niece, Josiah. She's the sophomore second baseman. And I think Garrett's going to try to get a shot of her right there at second baseman, right behind the umpire. So there's a foul ball for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes for Griffin at the plate. 1 out, 1 out and 1 on at first base. And there is strike 3 for Griffin and the Lady Bulldogs. 2 outs now. 1 on first, and it's number 3. I wish we had a name. Sorry about that. But she has been very busy for the Lady Cardinals as she got things going, as she was the first batter of the bottom of the first and was able to round the bases to get home for our first score of the game as she fouls that one away for strike 1. She is also the center fielder and has made two or three nice grabs to retire the Bulldogs. Fouls that one away for strike two. Griffin ahead in the count now, 0-2 with two outs and a runner on first at the bottom of the fifth. Looks that one in for ball one. One ball, two strikes now for Griffin. There's a line drive to third base, and Renshaw having trouble getting it. So the runner will advance to first and second base now with two out. She was there, able to knock it down, just could not collect it to make the throw to first. So the Cardinals stay alive with two outs with runners on first and second. Number 21 at the plate now for the Cardinals. And there's a pop fly, and Renshaw able to track that one down. Made up for the play before where she wasn't able to collect the ball and throw the runner out. Made a beeline for that little pop fly and caught it for the third out. So we are headed to the top of the sixth. The score still remains Wagoner 5, Verdigris 1. And we hope everything is going great for you guys at home. We appreciate Garrett Haddock making the trip with me to Verdigris and behind the camera and the computer. And maybe we'll get some close-ups of some of these batters before they start batting. Zoom in and maybe get some facial recognition. Or maybe we'll do it on defense when they're out in the field. Looks like this will be Four Killer. Looks that one in for ball one. Four Killer, the younger first baseman for the Lady Bulldogs. Looks in ball one. Here's a line drive to short center, and center fielder cannot make the play that time. But the left fielder, a great spot for her, she backed her up and was able to get the ball right as it went under the center fielder. So Four Killer will stay at first. And number three, that's actually only the first one that's actually gotten by her. She has been busy and she has been steady throughout this game. That's number 10, Josiah Pierce. Coach DJ, I hope you're watching still as the niece is at the plate and was looking to bunt that one away for strike one. Takes a swing and a foul ball for strike two. No balls, two strikes, no out with Four Killer the younger on first base. Pierce with a line drive into left field, and that will advance Four Killer to second, and Pierce will have a stand-up single. Coach DJ, I hope you're able to see that as the Bulldog bats are getting hot once again. It was back in the third inning when they got hot and got cold the last two, and now seem to be heating back up in the top of the sixth. This is number 6, center fielder Coker, tipping that away for strike one. No outs with Pearson Four Killer on first and second. Coker looks that one in for ball one. 1-1 for Coker. Strike two now for Coker, 1-2. Coach DJ, I see your comment, is able to see Sissy, as they call her. And here's a pop fly into shallow right field, goes to foul ball. So Coker still remains alive with a 1-2 count. Josiah Pierce, also called Sissy. I wasn't able to get to know her. She didn't come to the middle school and has been a couple of years at the high school now. So just been able to get to know her through softball as she is on first and four killer on second as we await the 1-2 pitch for Coker. Changeup comes in low for ball two. Ball two, strike two for Coker. And we're hoping the rain is going to hold off as it gets a little bit darker here in Verdigris, Oklahoma. As Coker looks in ball three, full count now for the Cardinal pitcher, number 8. Here's a line drive through second base into center field, and that will drive a runner home. It is four killer coming across home base as Coker with an RBI single. Pierce advances to second, and it's number 11, Kendra Condit at the plate now with 2 on, nobody out as the Bulldogs just score their 6th run. Here's a bunt laid down and goes foul almost in the perfect place as Condit returns back to the plate, looking at an 0-1 count. Looking to bunt again. This time is fouled up and over for ball two. Or strike two, sorry. No balls, 2 strikes for Condit. With Pearson Coker on base. Looks that one in for ball one. Condit chases that one for strike 3. That'll be 1 out as we're in the top of the 6th. And this is Shari Berry at the plate now for the Lady Bulldogs. Looks that one in for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Runners on first and second. That one low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Shari Berry, the sophomore left fielder. Here's a line drive deep into center field, and it is gone. Shari Berry with the 3 RBI home run, and the Wagoner Lady Bulldogs have just opened this game up. 4 killer and Coker across the plate. Now Berry. Wagoner Lady Bulldogs 9. The Verdigris Lady Cardinals 1. And the Lady Bulldogs do not think that they're finished because here's number 2 back at the top of the order, Jalen 4 killer. Only 1 out, and that ball comes low for ball 1. No balls, 1 strike, or sorry, 1 ball, no strikes. The second home run of the game, that one drove in 3. Griffin with a grand slam that drove in 4. So 7 of the Bulldog runs come off of home runs. And the Bulldogs. Now here's a deep into right field, but the right fielder is there almost at the warning track, if there was one. 4 killer deep to right field, but the right fielder is there to make the catch. And now here's Hutchins with 2 out. Hutchins looks that one in for ball 1 or strike 1. 0-1 for Hutchins. That ball comes in high for ball 1. Here's deep left field, and it will fall foul just barely. that almost hit the foul line. It just continued to hang up in the air and finally comes down deep left field for strike one. The scoreboard says strike one, but I think it's strike two. Here's the same ball that will fall this time into shallow left field. Hutchins will remain at first. Hutchins with the single as Renshaw steps up to the plate for the Lady Bulldogs. Strike one. That pitch ball one for the even count of 1-1 with 2 out. Hutchins on first. Renshaw saw it, but the changeup made her think twice and saw the second strike come across. That ball high and inside for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Renshaw. Ball two. 2-2 the count with 2 out. Here's the line drive into right field, and the right fielder is there to make the catch. Got some really good laser eyes for the Lady Cardinals in this outfield as that one was coming in hot, and she was able to run that down for the 3rd out. As we enter the bottom of the 6th, Wagoner 9, Verdigris 1. As the clouds continue to hover over the Verdigris Cardinal Stadium, but it's all sunshine right now for the Lady Bulldogs as they are up 9-1 entering the bottom of the 6th. Wagner faithful coming out loud and proud, and not a whole lot of sound from the Verdigris side of the dugout as the first pitch is fouled away for strike one. Be sure to tell everybody that we're live and we are in the bottom of the 6th, so they want to catch the last couple innings here of this district championship between the Verdigris Lady Cardinals. Here's a line drive to first, and Four Killer is right there. Kinsey Four Killer collected that and stepped to first for the first out. 1 out for the Lady Bulldogs. This is a rematch of an earlier season game where the Cardinals traveled to Wagoner and were able to take the Lady Bulldogs in extra innings. Now in its rematch, Lady Bulldogs seem to have it under control as we enter the 6th inning. There's a strike for Griffin at the mound, 1-1 with 1 out, nobody on. A line drive to right field and not able to track that one down, and she rounds first and goes to second as number 16 for the Cardinals with a line drive to right field gets it to fall for the base, the double. Runner on second with 1 out as the ball is fouled away for strike one. with strike two for Griffin at the mound. Batter behind 0-2 now. Low and outside for ball one. Hutchins thought that was it, but the ump thought otherwise. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that ball coming in fast, right down the middle for strike 3 and 2 outs. Runner remains at second as number 18 steps up to the plate and takes strike one. 0-1 for Griffin at the mound and the Lady Bulldogs. Ball low and outside for ball one. 1-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the sixth with 2 out and a runner on second. Inside corner for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for Griffin. Oh, Hutchins thought that was strike 3. Just getting a little excited back there. Thought they were headed into the dugout. But it'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Yeah, there is strike 3. As we go to the top of the 7th, having a final inning meeting there. I'm just wondering if we were going to stop at 6, but for the district championship, we'll be going to 7. So you got time to watch the last inning here. Wagoner Bulldogs 9, Verdigris Cardinals 1. As the Lady Bulldogs look to add to their lead to perhaps get a little bit more comfortable going in to the bottom of the 7th. But we got a lot of softball waiting until then, as something is going on behind the plate. Not sure what is the conversation between Coach Hutchins and the ump, but somebody had a talk behind the bench and not sure what it was. Either way, we're in the action now. Number 32, Zoe Griffin at the plate at the top of the 7th. Looks in ball one as we hope the rain continues to delay. We know we need it, but if it'll just wait about 15 more minutes. Here's a line drive into left field, and Griffin will have a stand-up single. As the Lady Bulldogs bats continue to swing hot, Griffin is on first with nobody out, and Four-Killer at the plate. Four-Killer the younger for the Lady Bulldogs. Showed bunt late, fouled it away for ball one, or strike one, sorry. No balls, 1 strike for Four-Killer. Looking for a bunt again, and this time and we got to throw to third, and that's going to round a base to home. Griffin with some nifty base running, as the Cardinals were a little confused about what was going on. So the ball hit fair and then came back with the spin, came back to the catcher, and Four-Killer knew that she was going to get thrown out at first, and I think it threw the Cardinals off a little bit as Killer almost looked to the dugout as she was running to first base. The throw was made to first base, and all the while, here's a line drive into center field, and that will fall for a base hit. That's number 10, Josiah Pierce. Hopefully, Coach DJ, you were able to see that all the way over in North Carolina as the bats continue to roll for the Lady Bulldogs. Again, as Killer is going to first, Griffin is rounding second. First baseman, not sure, thought we're going to catch her in a pickle, but Griffin continues to run towards third. An inerrant throw. She rounds third and into home for the 10th run of the contest. And then you just saw Josiah Pierce get a line drive in a center field for the single. And now here is number 6, Adrian Coker, with 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Ball 2 for Coker. It's been number 8 throughout the game for the Lady Cardinals on the mound. And here comes the coach to the mound for a team meeting. With 1 out, it's 3 balls and 1 strike for Coker. We are the last at bats, presumably, for the Lady Bulldogs. And looks like number 8 will be headed to the dugout. So we will have a change of pitchers for the Lady Cardinals to try to close out this 7th inning. All right. Lacey Klinger, looks like she has got it on the big screen. Appreciate you getting that up. Looks like a picture that you posted. Looks like it's you guys got a pretty good view, even though it may be a little different than what we're accustomed to. Usually we are set up right behind home plate and able to see the pitches, but not necessarily the hits. So a little bit different format for tonight. May not be able to see the pitches as far as where they are at the plate, but I know Garrett has caught some great line drives and some home runs for you guys to be able to enjoy at home. So the Lady Bulldogs look to close this one out against the new pitcher for the Lady Cardinals. It's Coker with a 3-1 pitch. And that comes in as a ball. Pierce will advance to second. Coker is at first. There's 1 out as Kendra Condit steps up to the plate. Condit takes a swing and fouls away the first pitch for strike 1. The ball comes in for strike, or the pitch comes in for, I thought that was 2 balls. That would be 3, but I'm looking at the scoreboard and it says 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike for Condit. And there is ball 3. Tough position to be put at for the relief pitcher for the Cardinals. And that comes in as strike 2 of the full count. There was 1 on base, 3-1 count for Coker. She walks to first and a check swing for Condit, and she will be called safe and will advance to first base. Coker on second, Pierce on third, and here's Shari Berry, who's already had a home run, 3 RBIs on that one, and here she is with bases loaded and 1 out. That Pitch comes in for ball, strike one. 0 balls and 1 strike for Barry. That one in the dirt for ball one. 1-1 the count with 1 on with bases loaded for the left fielder, Shari Berry. Looks that one in for ball two. That one low and outside for ball three. Berry ahead in the count. And there is strike two. Well, scoreboard shows 2-2. I must be thinking about other things or something because I thought, and Berry chases that one for strike three and the second out of the game. And now we are back to the top of the batting order for number 2, Jalen Forkiller, the senior third baseman. She's got bases loaded as she looks in ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs for Forkiller. That one low for ball two. High and outside for ball three. Forkiller ahead in the pitch count. 3-0. And that will be strike one. 3 balls and 1 strike now. There's a pop fly into right field. She is there to make the catch in the second out, or third out, I mean. So the Bulldogs will leave 3 base runners as we start the bottom of the 7th, the last chance for the Lady Cardinals to create some kind of rally here, down by 9 as we enter the bottom of the 7th. As always, we appreciate everyone that has logged on tonight. So the last chance for the Lady Cardinals. I want to give a shout out to our FNB sponsors. There's a line drive into right field that will fall and gets to the wall, but the runner will remain on first to start this 7th inning. Our elite sponsors for Friday Night Bulldogs: Shipman Funeral Home, Armstrong Bank, Aspire Health, Arvest Bank, Blue Sky Bank, Smoking Sisters on Dewey, Meats and More, Wagner County Abstract, Al Drug, Bonnie's Flowers, and Smoking Sisters on Main are the elite sponsors for Friday Night Bulldogs. Obviously, a special edition of FNB or Monday Night Bulldogs. Monday night, you've heard of Monday Night Football. Well, we've got Monday Night Softball here in Verdigris, Oklahoma, as the first pitch comes in for a ball one. And anytime that we can highlight our athletes here at Wagner High School, we try to do that as often as we can, and we appreciate those that sponsor the live stream. 2 balls, no strikes, and that is strike one for Griffin. Our corporate sponsors: Advanced Orthopedics, Cherokee Personnel, Prestige Plumbing, Good Neighbor Realty. That ball fouled away for strike two. 2-2 the count now. Also, Row Insurance, Richard Gray, Kevin Grover GMC, Moore Lancaster Agency, Bank First, Apex Title and Closing, and also Beth Johnson at Good Neighbor Realty. Those are our corporate sponsors in F&B, and we appreciate their support throughout this season as the batter fouls that one away to stay alive with 2-2. Runner on first, 2-2 pitch, and got her swinging on the changeup. Griffin retires the first batter at the bottom of the seventh, got two more, and the Lady Bulldogs will be dancing in the streets with a district championship trophy. Number 27 at the mound or at the plate as she fouls that pitch away for strike one. Runner on first. As Griffin ahead in the count 0-1 with one out. Ball one. Count is even at one with one out. Number 27 for the Cardinals at the plate. Fouls that one away for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As strike three for Griffin, and the Lady Bulldogs are 1 out away from a district championship. And it looks like it's going to be just in time, Garrett, as it seems to get a little darker every minute that we're out here. And everyone knows that we need the rain as the pitch is fouled away for strike one. Two out with the runner on, and the batter takes strike two, and we're perhaps one strike away, one pitch away right here, and here it comes. That's back to Griffin. Griffin makes the play, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully it came right into your living room. Griffin gets the chopper, comes right to her, turns, makes the throw to Kinsey Forkiller for the third out, and that is the end of the game. And they have already cleared the score on the scoreboard. The Wagoner Lady Bulldogs taking command of this game in believe it was the fourth inning with a grand slam, and they never looked back. And here's a little after game celebration. Got it right there for you as Coach Hutchins, Coach LaFay, Coach Manny, Christian, all. And here comes Coach Condit as well as a post-game prayer. And we thank you guys for being with us all the way as the Lady Bulldogs come to Verdigris and walk away with a district championship 10-1 over the Verdigris Cardinals. I am not sure if we will have a plaque presentation, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't see anybody out here with a plaque, so I may have to wait till we get back to Wagoner. But we appreciate everyone that logged on tonight at Friday Night Bulldogs. And as we mentioned, John Ferguson from the Wagner County American made the trip to Verdigris to cover Bulldog softball, and he is right now interviewing the star pitcher Zoe Griffin, who is usually providing a lot of defense and a lot of strikes, but was able to provide a lot of offense today as she went yard with the bases loaded, and the Bulldogs never looked back. So that's going to do it for us here at Verdigris, Oklahoma. Again, we thank you for always logging on and supporting Friday Night Bulldogs. Monday Night Bulldogs to be a little bit more precise, and supporting Wagner Lady Bulldog softball. So that's going to do it for us. For Garrett Haddock, I'm Jeremy Holmes saying good night and God bless America. We actually have quite a few. We actually have quite a few interviews going on right here. We still want to stick around. It's again Mr. John interviewing Shari Berry. Griffin, 7 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, but only 1 run and 13 strikeouts, and only 1 walk for the sophomore pitcher Zoe Griffin. And again, went yard during on her offensive side of things for a grand slam. For the Cardinals pitching, she pitched 6.1 innings, had 12 hits, gave up 10 runs, and walked 2, struck out 6. And then Murray in for the relief with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. We appreciate Chris Griffin giving us the updates on the statistics throughout the game. For the 5 at bats for Four-Killer, the senior, she had 1 run on 1 hit. Hutchins, 1 run on 1 hit. Renshaw, 1 run on 2 hits. And Griffin, yeah, I was reading that one wrong. Griffin with 2 hits and 4 runs. Four-Killer, the younger, with 1 hit and 1 run. Pierce with 2 hits. Coker with 2 hits. And Barry with that dinger as well, with a 3 RBI shot. So that is going to do it for real this time as interviews continue to go. And we thank you guys for supporting Wagner Bulldog softball. Once again, for Garrett Haddock, I'm Jeremy Holmes saying good night and God bless America.